Actually, I'm probably gonna have to record. Let me see. Gotta see if I got enough juice on my drive.
How much storage does that usually take to save one of those things?
Um, Actually, let me see.
So do you normally use the save to computer or save to the cloud?
Save to computer because I normally have my hard drive plugged into it.
Yeah.
Um, Normal size is about 2 gigs. Unless we go a long one, but all right, cool. So they're all out there doing their thing, so I got thrown in the bedroom today. I wanted to go outside. It was just a little too windy. So, well, cool. If you ever come to Oregon and you like to eat good food, don't go to Waldport. Everything shuts down at like 8 o'clock, and most things are just like takeout. And I mean, I'm not talking shit, but getting a waiter with all their front teeth is like, so I don't know. We've never been here before, but I don't mind it. I mean, I don't care how many teeth they have. But anyway, let me see. Maybe I can set this down here. There we go. Sure as hell ain't gonna hold my computer this whole time. All right. There we go. I just got done playing a little 9-hole golf courses, kind of cool. The girls wanted to go in and get their nails did, and me and the boy just went and goofed around for about an hour, so a couple hours. All right. Well, let's get it going. Whoever wants to go first, we can get this thing going.
Yeah, so I got food poisoning pretty bad, and ironically, Sahil also got food poisoning pretty bad this weekend.
Same time.
That's crazy.
But I'm starting to like really understand how the whole thing works, and I'm like 50% done on my funnel. Like I'm trying like the default. I already have a ClickFunnels account, so I'm just making a simple one in there. Like the hardest thing is finding a simple landing page and just making it even simpler. Like I can't figure out how to make the background white on this one that I'm using, so it'll be done like tomorrow.
I honestly just go when I was using ClickFunnels, I would just start with a blank one. I would add headline, subheadline, and then I'd add a 2-row picture, bullet points, and a button.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of like how the Build Lab one is, or the Make Once one is right now. But the other thing is, do you know how to make it so you click the button to make the pop-up go
Yeah, so
like
yep. So in ClickFunnels, it's when you go to set when they click the button, what it's going to do, you're going to put hashtag pop dash up, and it
wow.
should, or maybe it's hashtag pop open pop up or something like that. Just look up what command. There's other ways to find it inside of ClickFunnels, but like the easiest way would just be go, what is the command to open a pop-up in ClickFunnels? And it's like hashtag something. And
I
maybe
see.
somebody on here already knows, but I just haven't used it in a while to remember what the exact hashtag is, but it's going to be a hashtag. And then you're going to edit the pop-up. You can go to like the top or wherever it's at now. I know they're in 2.0. So are you using 2.0?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could probably just even go to their help and it would have like a little tutorial there for you. They got pretty good help.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Like I wouldn't say I'm using 2.0. I would say I have it. I don't know how to use it
Yeah,
its full
it's
extent.
crazy. I think they went a little, I don't know. It's like if you've never used anything and you start with, ClickFunnels 2.0, it's probably super simple or whatever. You just don't know any different. But, and I realized what they did, they were trying to make it more all inclusive, like where it could do more and everything and e-com and all that. But for what we're doing, I mean, I don't need anything more than system.
Yeah. Yeah, I could probably cancel it and use system, but I just already have it and the payment went through, so
Yeah. I mean, as long as it, yeah. Anyone else?
Well, actually that
Oh,
brings up another point. I'm realizing like a lot of this is just knowing the right questions to ask, and then like a lot of people don't know the right question to ask when like the people I'm trying to teach. They don't even know that you can use the internet to make money
mhm.
at all. So that's what I'm realizing.
Yeah, there's two things. Like if you, and this is true, like what, he says, like, so Alex Hermosi just did, I don't know when he did it, but I just seen it. And this is the old adage, like, solve rich people problems, then you can charge rich people money. And that's true. And, we're going to do that, but there's levels. It's like you have a front end, middle, and then a back end, right? And if you're and your front end can be whatever you want it to be. It can be serving rich people too. But I have a personal like mission to want to help people figure out how to make money using the internet. Okay. So I've already worked with business owners and B2B and charge the big tickets, and I will do it again. But right now I'm just really focused on the front end because I'm going to build up the front end charging low ticket, 97 a month, 597 a year, and then I will find my back end customers from my front end, right? So I'm going to build up community, build up members and build lab. And then when I open up to like a $6,000 or $36,000 offer, I'm gonna use that as like a seed to feed them into there. So I say that because when you're talking to people that have never made money online, just like what he said, he's like, if they've got $100 in their bank account and you're asking for $50, you're asking for half of their net worth or whatever, right? So it's like that's a big decision to make. Whereas, I've charged people 10 grand and they don't even open the course ever. They don't even care. They don't want their money because it's like it doesn't mean anything to, like, it's such a small percent of their income. It's not even, doesn't even make any sense, right? For them. Like they are, or not that it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't hurt, but
Yeah.
those are big tickets. And I just say that because your message when you're talking inside of your funnel and you're talking in your videos and you're talking in your marketing, your message is going to determine who you attract, right? So if you start talking like, well, for instance, like, hey, if you've ever wanted to start an online business and you've never done business before, you're obviously going to be getting somebody that's either an employee or something of that nature. So you're talking about lower income right away, depending on their job. But we're talking typical here. Okay. We're talking the average everyday Joe. I don't know. I think it's what, 3,600 a month is the average income or something like that across the United States. That is, I know in the world, it's like $800 a month. So you really want to be careful because I hear a lot of people, oh, nobody buys my thing because everybody's broke. I'm like, well, how are you presenting yourself? Like what kind of language are you using? So if you're getting a bunch of broke people, you're probably talking in a way that you're attracting that, right? So just be careful with that. I like to tell people, I know that I'm talking to people that are maybe newer to entrepreneurship with Build Lab and things like that. But I like to say it in a way where I'm not saying it like, hey, this is a like broke and need money. Like, here's a way to make money. I don't want it to be like that. Right. I want it to be like, can you imagine what it would be like to have 100 people paying you $50 a month each, or $97 a month each. Okay. What would an extra, 2, 3,000, 4,000 a month coming in be like? And sometimes even that's pretty low, for a lot of people. That'd be like, to some people, that'd be like, oh my God, that'd be crazy good. I don't know. That's not necessarily who I'm trying to attract. The person I'm trying to attract is probably making, 60 to 100,000 a year, and they hate their corporate job, and they would rather replace that income selling information, because they're probably good at something if they're making that much, right? Typically, they're a little bit above average. So, but they're on somebody else's schedule. You know what I mean? So I just say that because when you start creating marketing, you have to be careful of that. And I know I still do it sometimes. I'll be attracting the wrong person, with the way I'm presenting the message. But just be careful with that. Who else has a question? Or Bajan, did you have more? Yeah, what's up, Chuck?
So when you do you post your Zoom calls? Do you make that part of your value train or no?
Depends on how the call went.
Okay.
If I was being pretty loose and dropping the F-bomb a lot or something, like,
Yeah.
I'll tend to not post that. I don't want to give people too much of the wrong impression, But if it's a good constructive call, if people were maybe sharing it, there was a little bit of testimonial-ish stuff going on, or there was some people having some good aha moments, I will post it,
Okay.
But I don't typically. It's not the goal it's not the
Right.
goal to post it. But if there
Right.
was some like gold in it, and it was pretty good, or I felt like it would be something that would help people to make a decision to join, then I might post it, or I might go in and
Well,
find.
I helped. I had this. Both of my students showed up again today for my second Zoom, and you realize if you want to feel better about where you are in regards to teaching other people, get on a Zoom with people and find out how little they know and how much they value what you know. Because one of my students had no idea about ChatGPT, and she wants to use hypnotherapy to help with smoking cessation. And she wants to build a course and take people through the whole process and Zooms and everything, basically, doing this, but doing it for smoking. And
Yeah.
she knew nothing about how to build out the pillars of her process so she could explain it to people. And I went right live on Chat GPT and I shared my screen and I just went, and she must have asked me 4 times, like, now what website is that again? It's like she'd never heard of it. And I think what that is too is that's another lesson for us, that just because we're all in this and we know this stuff, the public at large does not. And so you've got massive value to people that are brand new out there. So for sure.
I mean, I know people that are successful in business, like beyond what I make, don't even know who Tony Robbins is. I've got there's a guy that joined Build Lab. He's doing over 20 mil a month, didn't know what a funnel was. This stuff is like, when we went out to Frank Kern, I think it was 2015 or something like that. I went to one of Frank Kern's masterminds in La Jolla. It was like a 3-day event. There's like 100 people there, and it was pretty, we got to hang out with Frank like real close. Like, go up, I put my arm around him, hang out with him, went up on stage with him and bullshitted with him. Like, it was really cool, and at that time he's like, there's less than he said there's less than 1 million people in the world that even know what this stuff is.
That's crazy.
And I don't, he could have been pulling that out of his butt. I don't know. But when you're in this, it's like, it's kind of like when you buy a Jeep, you see Jeeps everywhere. It's like when you get involved with this stuff, you see it everywhere. And then it's also, all of your algorithms are honed into it as well, because you're digging around looking at this stuff. So that's all you're presented with from coaches and all these people. So you think it's like, saturated, or the old news and things like that. I mean, this is like, this stuff is pretty rare. I mean,
Yeah.
I can tell people like what I do, and they just have no clue what the hell I'm even talking about. To them, it's just like some weird, abstract, foreign thing, you know.
It's like space travel to some people. They
Yeah,
just
it
don't even
just
have a
doesn't
clue.
even register. I mean, I still don't think my mom really understands what I do. Like, they just think that I do this, I do something with the internet, and I make videos, and I make money somehow. Like, they just don't really, they just don't get it. I mean, so like when you're out there, I mean, all of us right now could have 100,000 people paying us $50 a month, and nobody would even know who we are.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knows who I am. Like, I'm a nobody. You know what I mean? So when you get that, it took me a while to get that too, by the way. Like, that took a long time. It's kind of like, I
But
always
it's like
talk,
the best of both worlds, because you're
yeah.
making the income to have the lifestyle you want, but you're not like Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi or Brendan Burchard, where you're bombarded when you go out into public and people know who the hell you are. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, when you hear people like, bitching because they haven't made $1 million, and they're like, it's like, dude, you don't even know, you're just saying $1 million because that's supposedly the number or something, right? Like, if every one of you right now, if I just handed you 50 grand a month, you'd be, I don't even care what level you're at right now. You could be making 5 million a year. But if every month I just sent you a check for 50 grand, your entire freaking life would change. People don't understand, like, that's not normal. You're extreme, like, you're in the top 1% of, like, you're considered ultra wealthy at 68,000 a month. You're in the top 1% in the US in wealth at like 50 something thousand a month. Like, when was the last time you spent 50 grand in 1 month? So, it's like, get a grip and chill out. Like, you're better to do it right, dial it in, and focus on getting it. Like, you're not, I don't, unless something tragic happens, you're going to be around for a while. So, like, let's say it took you a year doing it right to get to 50 grand a month, and then the next year you got it to 75, and then the next year you got it to 100, and you consistently held that down, and you were doing it on your schedule, doing what you wanted to do with who you wanted to do it with, and then you lived another 20 years at a rate that you could sustain that. It's like, we're all in this rush, and what do you try, and this is something that is important, because I think a lot of people, they stress themselves out. I used to, and it was like, when I was like, dude, just chill, do it right, build the thing, help the people, focus, and it'll be there. And when you focus like that, it It changes your demeanor, your approach on how to do things. And I know, you know, there's all types out there, right? Like, you know, you've got the like I always say, you know, you got the Grant Cardone. They're like, oh, you know, if you're making less than 500,000, you know, you're just a chump, you know, you're nothing, you know, or how do you even live, you know, and you should be just but it's not like, it's not reality. Right? You can go crazy if you want.
It's
But
also like that whole thing with, I'll give you $1 million today, or you can double a penny every day for 31 days, and you end up with like $10 million. So
yeah,
why would you leave the 9 million on the table just because you're in a hurry? And that's what people don't get. They're in such a hurry, and we live in such a microwave society that they think that it has to happen now, and they don't even consider compounding of where it will be after a certain point if you just stick with it, as opposed to what it's going to be 30 days from now.
yeah. And it's better to do it right. And it's better to do it so that it's consistent. And it's better to, you know, and it's like, you can enjoy yourself as you're doing this. You don't have to like, now I do want you to be consistent. You know, the first like year, you're really just focusing on brand awareness, right? You're focusing on being able to bring your message to the market, you know, correctly. You're learning about the behaviors of the people that you're working with. It's really important to, you know, just collect leads and yeah, Bill, we'll get to you in just one second. I just want to say this. There's a guy in the group, he sent me a message and he's like, man, I just don't know if I'm on to the right niche. You know, I don't know if it's too niche or if this is, you know. And the big thing that I think about when somebody says that is like, okay, well, whatever you're obsessed with, whatever your people are coming to you asking you questions about already, whatever you're really like into and enjoy, start there. That's your niche, but then just start a free community. Like, set up a Skool group that's free and start just getting members in that are on that same wavelength about what it is that you're into, and then just start helping them for free in that paid community, or sorry, in that free community that you're building, the free group, like Skool group. And then you're going to start seeing patterns of people asking you questions. You're going to start seeing what people need and want, and that it'll just appear to you what the course should be. It'll just appear to you how to talk to people. You know, they can join the community for free. You can work back and forth with them. You can help them for free and start learning about them and what they want, and everything will start to open up to you. And then you can start charging for it. What's up, Bill?
Okay, I wrote that analogy about, guys just getting instructions and stuff. Do you remember that earlier today?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of play off of that. Basically, with that, I think I've just kind of thrown the instructions by the wayside and just kind of done this, this, and this. And so I'm pretty much at square one. So I think for me, my question is, I did watch your video about, hey, you need this software and you need this, this, and this. So if I were to do my program right now, I would tell someone like pillar one, let's go shopping. You need to have this in your basket. So Wistia, you mentioned Wistia. What is that?
It's not a necessary thing. I was just sharing what I use.
And what is it for? If I was that, you say you need to have this in your shopping cart, bare minimum. And if you want to add to it, that's great. But you need this bare minimum, like Zoom, whatever.
So are you asking me what the bare minimum things would be?
Bare minimum that you would need to have to do this.
And actually make money. Yeah, so bare minimum, you would need, I would say you would need system, okay, because you need a funnel.
Okay.
You could use systems email marketing tool.
Okay.
So again, I mean, if we're talking bare minimum,
Okay.
you could use system for your funnel, you could use system for your email, and then yeah, you could use system for your course, but I would use Skool just because
Okay.
what makes a course valuable is, having that community and the calendar. And instead of patching a bunch of stuff together, Skool has it all together. So I would use system for like the landing page and the emails. I would use Skool for the course platform, community, and calendar. And then I would have Zoom
Okay.
and then Stripe.
And Stripe to get payments.
Mhm.
Okay. And Zoom, do they have a free, or do you have like a business plan that you do, or?
I pay, I think, $19 a month for Zoom.
All right.
I only pay 15.
Yeah, maybe it's 15.
Okay. Awesome. Editing software, I think you ScreenFlow, right?
Yeah, screen if they're on a Mac.
Okay. I did get that. So
I think it's there's a lot of that stuff, but ScreenFlow seems pretty good for me. Like, because the reason I like it is it can record. I mean, honestly, no, I'll take that back. Let me take that back. If we're talking bare minimum and can get it done, you could definitely do Loom.
Loom. Okay, Loom. In place of ScreenFlow.
Yeah.
Okay. Trying to think what else. Does Zoom actually do convert your to text or whatever?
No, that Loom does that though.
Loom does. Okay.
Mhm.
Actually, I think Zoom does do that now. When I download it to the cloud,
Oh,
you can
really?
there's a button to transcribe, yeah.
There
Okay.
you go. Is it extra?
No,
There you go.
last time I checked.
Okay. Lighting, of course, which that's kind of a little bit of a tricky one, but
Yeah, I mean, they could just sit by a window.
yeah. I've just been playing around with shop lights. I added another shop light, but I mean that's
Light.
maybe you guys can tell me based off of this one change. That made any difference?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even like if we're talking bare minimum. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you. Like,
Just maybe even a phone. Phone camera.
I mean, I've made money just. You could do the same thing. Like, you could just literally have. You could literally just have Skool.
Skool.
Yeah, because you could get people into your community, and then they could pay you through Stripe, and soon they'll have like a paid subscription thing built into it. So,
Oh, Skool's gonna have kind of like a Stripe paid thing in
like a
there.
billing type thing. It'll probably integrate with Stripe or something like that. But you could literally just have Skool. People could you could let your community building your community would be like building your list if you wanted to get bare minimum, and people would just pay you to have access to the community, and you can unlock the courses to them.
Uh-huh.
But I think the most important thing, like right now, if you're still in this beginning stage, the most important thing for you to do is you need to get brand awareness out there. You need to be creating lots of videos and content for the sake of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I've started recording videos, but as far as saying, okay, and that's the thing I need to ask is you have buildlab.com and you say makeonce.com, or how's that kind of
I
set
just
up?
have makeonce.com and the program's called BuildLab.
Okay.
It's like,
That's two separate. Okay.
yeah, it's like Nike has their Zoom shoe, they have their tennis shoe, they have their basketball shoes, and they're all named something different, but it's Nike.
Okay.
So I've got Make Once, and then I've got these different shoes that I'm going to have. One of them's called Build Lab.
Okay.
Build Lab's
So
like the product.
By the
Oh.
way, I in my like digital research of like how people used to do all this, Alex Hormozy used to do paid Facebook groups. And
I've
so
done
he'll
that.
be saying that Skool used some UI engineers from Facebook to make Skool's UI real snappy. So it's like this is the next iteration of paid Facebook groups is using Skool.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have people pay me and I'd give them access to a Google Drive file that only they would get access to, like, and they could have done whatever they wanted with it afterwards.
Mhm.
The most important thing though, I'm not even lying, is like this shit gets way overcomplicated by everybody, myself included in the beginning. So I understand.
Yeah.
But you need a way to take payments and you need a way to give them the stuff that they paid for.
Right.
And you need a way to get them to understand what it is that you're selling.
Uh-huh.
Track, convert, and deliver.
Mhm.
Traction, pick a freaking platform. If you were to pick one, I'd say pick YouTube because it's got long form and short form.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But TikTok just gets you out there. Like they're very loose. Like you're not going to get out there the same way with YouTube the way you do TikTok.
Yeah. I planned on doing TikTok, just following your format because you said it's pretty much just really
It's the same thing. I mean,
easy to post.
I literally shoot a long form and I do it in one take. I don't go in and edit anything, and I just chop the front and the back off. And I mean, I've been doing this a while, so I can do shit pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Right? Like I can throw little front intros in, like with the Eagles. I'm just honestly just fucking around with that. Like I think it's
That's
kind of
pretty cool.
hilarious, honestly. These two birds, like I'm just playing. Like I'm having fun. I sure as hell ain't going through my life stressing out and not having fun doing this shit.
Yeah.
I'm not taking myself that serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
The learning curve will go down. Right now, it's kind of like, oh my gosh.
No, I get it. I get it. But like, I'm here to have fun. I'm here to help people make money. And I'm not going to go through my life spending, a third of my life doing this stuff, which is about probably what it amounts to, a quarter to a third. And stressing myself out and tripping over stupid crap. Like, I know how to make money with this stuff, and I'm going to show other people how to do it, and I'm going to try to simplify it and speed it up as fast as I can. But I want to have a good time while I'm here. And I think people want to enjoy their existence. Okay. And so if you just keep it simple, find something that you love to do and just get extremely consistent with it and have a place for people to pay you and be able to give them a curriculum of how to get there. That's the most important thing. Like I always think about it all the time. I'm like, right now, if I had a toothache, I'm not going to go look for the best dentist in the world. I'm going to find a goddamn dentist. I'm going to have him say, hey, can you fix my mouth? And I'm going to pay the guy or girl. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like, or now the last 20 people that came into your office, did you, hurt them? I'm not going to, we don't do that. And that's
Right.
what this is. It's like, what happens though is you see all these other people doing this stuff, and you see these crazy things, and it's not even necessary. There's a guy that made like, I think he's gonna make like 28 million just from YouTube, and he reviews toys. His name's like Ryan or some shit. He's a kid.
Yeah, it's just like keeping it simple, and then it's a numbers game. It's like, I mean, this is a
People are like, well, that make a lot of money, and I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do right now to make, like, what? Have you ever made 200 grand in a year? Like, what are you talking to me about? Like, oh, well, I don't know. It's not like, dude, get there first. Like, then we'll talk about this other level here,
there's a comparison that I like to make. It's kind of popular in my generation. It's like the OnlyFans girls, but they really know what they're doing when it comes to marketing. Like, they post one picture, and a lot of the times they're just sharing their life using that website. But they post one picture, they attract a lot of clients, and then they convert within the same like message, and then people go sign up for $5.
I mean, the numbers are the numbers. Out of every 1,000 people that you have on your email list, or for every 1,000 people that opt in, you're going to convert 1 to 5% of those people. Just pick something that you love to do and love to talk about, and that you want to get really deep on, and then help people get the result that you're able to get because you already know how to do it. Give them a place to pay you. Give them give them, it's this simple. Like, if I had to like leave the formula on my tombstone for the upcoming century behind us, I would put on there: attract, convert, deliver. Attraction. Create tons of videos talking about what you do, why you do it, and what it is. Okay. Conversion. Set up a 4-page funnel, collect leads, email those leads, telling them about what it is that you do, why you do it, and where you do it. And then have them pay you a monthly recurring fee of whatever, 10 to $100, somewhere in there, 5 to $100. Okay. And then on the delivery side, set up a Skool or a platform, whatever it is called at that time, and have a static video program in there that they can go through, like a training they can go through on their own time because it's pre-recorded. Add a community to it so that other people that are going through it can talk to each other and figure things out together. And you can learn how to improve the program. And then do 2 weekly Q&A calls. I don't want to do 2 calls. Oh my God, I don't know. But dude, you go to your job doing some bullshit every day for less money. And you're talking to me, you're crying about doing some video. What are you talking? I'm on vacation, or whatever you call this. I mean, life. I don't know what you call it. Like, I'm not at my house. And I'm doing my call right now, and I'm not in pain. I'm not pissed. Like, I'll go outside with you. We'll go anywhere. That's it. Like, when I get up in the morning and I'm in the shower, I'm like, what can I talk about today that's going to help somebody go, oh, I get it. Okay, cool. No, I see how this works now. Because this is what we're doing, right? We're helping people learn things. We're in the education business. We're helping people learn how to do something that they don't know how to do. Like, my son has a running coach. He helps him learn how to run. He doesn't, it's like, and it's the same thing with you guys. It doesn't matter what you're teaching them. Like, Bill, you teach martial arts. I mean, you're teaching people how to do something that they want to do, that they don't know how to do, that you know how to do. And so they pay you and you teach them. I'm just using videos to do it. So
By the way, I'm in another course, LinkedIn course, how to become top in LinkedIn. It's very simple, and I'm realizing from the education I'm getting here, I'm like filtering everything through this education, and I'm realizing he has the attraction, the convert, and the deliver. His thing does exactly what it says it's going to do. My score on LinkedIn is going higher. We track it every week. There's one Zoom call on Monday every week for 8 weeks, and it's an hour long, and it's just an hour long. He keeps it very simple and very like slow paced, and it costs $9.97. And he has 10 other people in this one class with me.
like a cohort.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we track it on Google Docs or
Mhm.
Google Sheets or whatever. We track the metrics.
There's tons of
we-
things like this.
It's easy.
Yeah. That's all this is. You're a coach, a consultant, a course creator. You're all those things. A creator.
Just a different business model.
I just look at it, and you guys, everybody on here can look at it the same way if they so choose. Imagine being consistent with this, and in 5 years from now, you have 2,000 people paying you $50. Three years from now, 4 years from now, 10 years from now, you have 5,000 people paying you $50. What are you going to do right now where you're going to be able to create your own schedule, talk about what you want to talk about with who you want to talk about it with, being able to do it from anywhere, and make $250,000 a year for something that you made one time and you keep updated? If you're making $250,000 a year and you got time and you've got a community of people that you can connect with and share with, you can make 5 million a year because you can come out with another product. There's so many ways to monetize. And think about it, 10 years from now, think about how old you'll be 10 years from now. If somebody, they could guarantee you that you'd be making 30 grand a month 10 years from now for the rest of your life, or let's say 10 years from now, you'd be making 30 grand a month, and you'd make 30 grand a month for the next 30 years after that, or 20 years after that, just with this one thing that you're doing. What if you invested that money a little bit into something else? What if you made $1 million a year? You know, it's like, yeah, you have to kind of think about, like, what are you trying to obtain? We say these like numbers just for, like, I don't know what it's like. Oh, I want to make $1 million a month for what? Like, what are you trying to buy? What are you trying to do? I want to make 200,000 a month. What are you trying to get?
Yeah.
What
You
color
can
is
fly
your
on a
gun?
private jet right now from the East Coast to the West Coast for $2,500.
Wow.
I don't know what house payment you're paying, or what kind of, you can have a pretty good house for 5G a month house payment. More house than you would frickin' need, I'll tell you that. $5,000 a month on a house payment, you can have a pretty nice crib. You have $45,000 left. Now what do you want to buy? You know, I mean,
Crazy.
these are, and I'm not telling you not to dream big. I'm telling you to just like pay attention to like what you're actually trying to do and realize that while we think about all these other esoteric things, it's like, how about let's just focus on posting consistently each day, getting brand awareness, sharing with people how we can help them. Send them to a funnel so we can get their email information so that the next time we want to talk to them, we can just email them. And then let's create a program that does the thing that we said we could do from A to B, get them from A to B. And then let's listen to them and improve it over time. You don't have to talk crap on anybody. You don't have to. You just need your damn computer with you or your phone. There's no secret sauce. Now, if you want to do big crazy things for the sake of doing big crazy things or whatever it is that your goal is, you know what I mean?
By the way, Mr. Beast, the YouTuber, he didn't get 1,000 views on his videos for 8 years. So now you can get that within one post on YouTube on a brand new account. So it's like, it's easier now. What the way I learned to think of it is there's a lot more people seeking this stuff out now. But yeah, like it's easier for those people to find you nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, the media just helps things go quicker because more people can find out about it.
But it doesn't mean there's like less opportunity, which I used to think it meant that there was less opportunity because they were all going to the bigger names that already existed. But I realize that's not so true.
It's really just about finding something that you're really passionate about that you can get good. Like, it's really about, can you help somebody do the thing that they want to do, whatever that is for you? And then get excited about it and post about it. Who gives a rat's butt? Like, you could call me whatever you want right now. Anything. Think of the most crazy thing. It's just wow, 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 wow. Like, I don't even think about that crap. I've never really quite understood that. Why people, I'm like, it's literally just noises coming out of this flesh bag over here, and you're gonna ruin your life. You're gonna set your life on fire because of this. Like, just okay, cool, dude. Like, Jiminy Christmas. Like, all I'm focused on is like, I just want to make my program better and better and better. I want to get better at creating the message so that when somebody hears my mouth moving, they go, oh, okay, I get that. All right. I'm not trying to convince anybody that this is for them or you're going to make any kind of like crazy things. I'm like, you're working 8 to 10 hours a day for some company making 30 to 70,000 a year. They're telling you when to be there or else, which that's fine. That's what it is. It's a job. That's what they do. I mean, there's got to be rules there, so they, if I'm going to pay you, this is what, these are this is the parameters, to get paid. This is what I set up. If you don't like it, go work somewhere else. It's simple, right? So I'm like, you could work doing something that you don't enjoy for a quarter of your lifetime, bitching about it every day, complaining that you can't do whatever because of time barriers that the job gives you, and you want to make more money. Well, here's a way to make more money, but you're going to have to do something where you're helping people or you're not going to make any money. So find something that you like and start doing it. You can work your job until this makes you more, but don't sit there and wonder. Don't sit there and worry about anything. Just start posting. Like, we can literally just post. And people can find it, click on shit, and buy things. And you can give them what they bought. Repeat. And anything that you do consistently over time, you're going to naturally just be better at it each time. And what I love about like the low ticket is all the people that are going through your low ticket thing and you're making 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 100,000 a month. There's a certain percentage of people out of there, let's call it less than 20%, that are going to get something out of it and do it. Just like how many people, what percentage of people do you think actually get in shape when they buy workout equipment?
Very few.
Right? So it's about the same thing with this. Look how many people are on right now. That's just what it is. And so when the people that do get something out of it, that less than 20%, they're going to say, well, what's the next thing? You say, well, here's the next thing. It's this much. It's just like you can go there, you can go buy a base Ford pickup, or you can buy that Ford Raptor R. What's the difference? Well, you just get more of that. You just pay more. So that's you got your front end. They sell more of the regular Ford pickup than the Ford Raptors, right?
Hey, Mike,
So,
I got a question real
yeah.
quick. I got to head out here for a teaching
Yeah.
lesson. Have you ever done a model where you've done like your 9800 program and they like, oh, I can't do it, but I really want to do it. And you've done something kind of like a smaller package. Let's say, oh, I can do it for $2,500. I'm like, oh, I don't want to lose them. So you're going to kind of like do $99 a month or something. It's almost kind of like when I was in, I couldn't do but I was actually checking for my instructor. And then it seems like you came out with your $99 program. It was kind of like you shifted to cater to those martial artists that couldn't afford the greater program.
Yeah, so for me, what happened there was I started to like sit with myself and I was like, what am I really trying to do right now?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there was no real science or like strategy or anything really behind it. I had just charged the 9,800 and then I charged 5,800. And then I got to a place where I was like, okay, well, if somebody wants to have my all-time attention where I'm getting on private Zooms with them, maybe 5 to 7 Zooms, and I'm literally like, hey, it's my voice live with them, and I'm like giving them my actual like crazy live time where I'm like helping them set things up and da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to do that. I can do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they want me to do that, it's 10 grand. And then I was like, well, 9,800 sounds a lot better than 10 grand.
Right.
So that was the science behind that. And I still have people take me up on that every once in a while, which is great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then like at some point I was like, well, I just want to have this residual recurring thing. And I'm like, how much does an energy drink cost each day? About $3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I was going to charge $100, but I'm like 97 sounds cheaper. So I just said $97 because everybody buys either a coffee or an energy drink or some shit like that every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, that's what it costs. So that's how I did it. And you can do the tiers. You can do whatever you want. The big thing is just do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the big thing. Like charge Andrew Tate charges $49.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's no real rhyme or reason behind it. I mean, My thing is like, find something that you can be excited about. I love what I do. I absolutely love this shit. I don't know why. I'm glad I do. I cannot work for somebody, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I really, and listen, I'm not the best there is. But I do know how to make, you know, I've made 7 figures doing this in a year. That to me is amazing. I can't believe I even did it. You know? And you know, I've consistently been able to, you know, generate anywhere from like 30 to 60 grand each month. You know what I mean? And it's like, and it'll grow over time.
Mhm.
I feel like a little kid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to improve. I'm trying to help people. I'm really, the big thing I want to do is simplify it, because this thing is so overcomplicated. It's made, the way it sounds and is presented sounds so intimidating and overcomplicated, when in reality it's no different than somebody coming over to your house and you're showing them how to draw a picture because you're good at drawing. The only difference we're doing it here is I'm using videos, and instead of knocking on doors and handing out flyers, I'm just creating content on social media. And
Mhm.
instead of you paying me in cash, I'm just having you pay me on a page with Stripe connected to it. And then
Oh, yeah.
instead of you coming to my house, we just get inside a Skool and we
Hmm.
get on this thing so that we have, you know, live interaction.
Right. Well,
And that's,
if
you
you
know,
can walk
that's
me
what,
through it, then you're good. You're down to bare bones. You can walk me through it. I'm your kind of your, I don't know what you call it. Your, not your helpless case, but your the one, your
well, no,
model case.
it's just
Your model
everybody
case.
has this. Like my son is a fucking genius in school. Like the kid, he graduated high school with associates in business in college. He only has to go to college for 2 years to get like the other whatever. I don't even know what the next bachelor's is. What I don't even know what the next thing is. He's amazing in track. He's super super smart. But when we go golfing, he's shanking them all over the place. You know, it's like we all have our own little thing that we're good or not good at. You know,
Mhm.
and for some odd reason, this stuff clicked with me. I've always been able to manage a computer pretty decent, and I'm
Mhm.
kind of artsy, so editing and, you know, coming up with creative stuff is kind of just naturally in my bones. And I
Mhm.
can jibber jab forever, right? So these are some good things to have. You know, and I'm kind of a forward type person, you know, like we could be in a complete room of strangers and I'll go make friends with all. I don't have that, like I don't get shy or embarrassed for whatever. These are all things that I'm just kind of like lucky about, I guess.
Right.
But everybody can do these kinds of things. But it's like you have to. I just really get. I'm just like pumped about life, man. And shit sucks. My tooth hurts. You know, like I'm not. You know the. You know, shit. There's other things that could have happened that are. You know, like I got, you know, a stripper tattooed on my arm and shit. You know, there's things that suck, you know, but it's like I don't really think about that because I always play this game like, well, it could be a lot worse.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, there's all these people out there that, like, I think about a lot of people that they just literally hate their job, or they hate the situation they're in, or they want to make, just if they could just make an extra 1,000 or 2,000 a month, it would be like unbelievably different in their life. Like they could live in a better house, they could do better things, but they just don't have the opportunity presented to them. And then nobody's there to really show them how to make this thing work. And that's kind of how I think about this. And maybe I do oversimplify it, or I feel like it could be even way more simple than what I make it. And I'm working on that too.
Yeah.
But what's important to me is that I care, and that I just try to do the best I can. And, you know, if I'm just trying to be as real as I possibly can. And, I think if we do that, if we just care about people and try to help people in the way that we are, like the way I visualize this, and if this isn't helping, then just somebody cut me off. But like, I just look at it as like, okay, somehow, some way, I got to be able to talk to somebody. So I can't have everybody like follow me around everywhere I go and sit down in a chair and like look at the whiteboard or some shit, and I can't like, so I'm gonna have to use some kind of like something. That's where we use a Zoom. I use videos and that in school and stuff like that in the community. And then I'm like, well, I gotta get paid for this. Otherwise I can't keep doing this.
Mhm.
So I need to like Stripe and, get a credit card and stuff like that. And I need some kind of something to create a video with. So I've got like some kind of camera or something. I keep it really like that in my mind. And then I'm like, I gotta have this shit in order so they don't do it. Can't put the sugar in after you bake the pie. So I just get an order together and then I try to show up as much as I can. And I need to show, I want to show up more, you know? Yeah, what's up?
So I thought of a question. What if you only had 1 hour a week to do all the technical stuff? But you could go live as many times as you wanted. But you could only do the tech stuff for 1 hour on like a Monday.
And by tech, what do you mean?
I mean, like you had to take 1 hour to like set up the funnel, 1 hour to like set up the email automation, uh, and 1 hour to like write the emails and stuff. Like, which one would be most important first thing?
Well, as far as tech goes, the number one first thing and the most important thing to me is collecting an email. So it'd be setting up the funnel and collecting an email.
Could I just use like a 1 page funnel?
Of
Like
course you could.
just an email opt-in?
Yeah,
Okay,
of course.
all right.
But naturally, if they opt in, they're gonna have to land on something afterwards after they opt in. So naturally, you would have like a page there afterwards.
Yeah, I guess because
And
I
then,
signed up for so many like email newsletters, all it was the 1 page opt-in, because I wanted to see how the email newsletter game worked. So I signed up for everyone that I could find. It was 1 page opt-in, and then they just sent an email confirming.
yep, you can do that. But for
Yeah.
me, it's like, why not just have a video there on that next page where I'm at least sharing and asking for them to join? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, actually, I didn't watch that video. I didn't because I already knew. It's funny the way that I like I watched the first second I saw your TikTok live, I was like, damn it, I'm gonna buy. I didn't care how much it was. I knew I was gonna buy your thing.
there's people like that. Yeah. No, I'm the same. Like a lot of times when I see something, I'm like, I'll just buy it. Like I just never have been. I just know people make mistakes. I know people are fallible. Yeah, I mean, I don't get to, how many times I've bought shit and it just completely sucked ass and I never got a refund. I didn't bitch about it. I didn't go talking shit and, try to get like that stuff. People that do that, I'm like, what are you like? Who, there is so much better ways to spend your time, and I'm just like, I just expect that going into things. Everything that I buy, even nice things, I'm like, there's a chance this could suck. I mean, all right, Bill.
See ya.
See you later, brother. So, that's just kind of how but listen, I'm just one dude out here freaking, what I wish for you all is that, and maybe you guys don't even think about it the way I'm thinking you're thinking about it. Right? For me, I am just so like grateful and appreciative, number one, that you guys, trust in me and you're here. Number two, I'm just so happy that we have these like tools. Like this is, to me, unreal that we can do this stuff. It's helpful. it's, as far as the tech stuff, I know how it can get, it's like, it's frustrating because you want it to do this thing that it's supposed to do and you don't know the thing, but I'm like, there is like, but really, honestly, 4-page funnel, Skool. I hope and truly believe that at some point all we'll probably need is just Skool. Because it'll collect the email. I mean, they've already got like a little landing page. They'll collect the email. I doubt they'll have like automated emails, but maybe. I don't know. There's all kinds of shit that does this. I mean, ClickFunnels does all the stuff, But at the end of the day, the key elements here are you need to be able to attract people. So you're posting on social media or something. You can run ads if you want to. We've got to get emails. That's those are the things that we need right now. So whatever you want to use to get emails, but just you need a funnel page or something. You got to collect emails, right? And then you got to be able to take payment. So you need a page where they can go buy it. You know what I mean? And then how are you going to deliver what they bought? I just use Skool.
Yeah, I'm kind of realizing now because I started like helping my friend that was working in the same place I was when it shut down. He's like well, finding any job right now, and he's a little bit younger than me. I'm like, you could do this thing that I saw this advertisement for, where you just do copywriting for e-commerce businesses. I'll like teach him how to do it because I don't want to do it, but I know he would be the perfect fit, and I'll do it. I'll like teach him for free, and then he becomes a testimonial for me, saying, "Hey, Bijan like coached me on this and really helped me out."
Yeah, and think about how many brick and mortar like mom and pop shops don't know what Chat GPT is, don't know what copywriting even means, don't have a clue what a funnel is. They don't know like how to do anything on the internet, period. They work with their vendors, they have people that come into their door and some days are better than others. You can literally set them up a basic little page, do some basic copywriting for them, charge them a couple $1,000s, get it done for them, get a testimonial from them, go to the next one. And then pretty soon, you'll be pretty slick. You'll know how to do it. You'll have a process. Now, just record what it is that you do and turn that into a course. And now you don't have to go do that individually. You can do one-to-many. And then out of that, there might be some that are like, well, we want you to do it for us. It's 20 grand. Okay. Because they're making a couple million a month. 20 grand to them is like buying this. But people try to go there from the start. And it's like, well, you haven't earned your badge yet. Well, yeah, but no, just go through that and get it. Yeah, but I want it right now. Like, how do I get it now? I'm like, well, go plant a tree, brother. You can scream and yell and cry and get pissed and do whatever you want, but takes a few years. Get that tree up there. But if you don't ever plant it and just go through it, because it's like, I mean, it's 2023 and we're here almost, in the middle of June.
Halfway through, I didn't realize that.
Wild. It doesn't. Here's the funny thing. We're here talking about this stuff to do this thing. You doing just one video a day, you just now put yourself like nobody's doing. Most of the people here aren't doing one video a day. Think about like just doing one video a day, what percentage that puts you in. You forget about when I talk about, 3 to 5 shorts, a long form, and an email your list. How about just do one short a day? Let's get on that boat first. Can you consistently do that for 90 days? 100%. Sahil said 1 post a day would leapfrog you ahead of millions. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It really, truly would.
By the way, they made it even easier to on TikTok Live. When you have your live replay, it says you can post the most viewed spots of the
I've
TikTok.
seen that.
Yeah,
That's so
you
crazy.
download it and it posts it automatically.
I know, that's insane.
Yeah,
They
want to make it
tools
easier.
are just, well, everybody's doing it. No, they're not. You're just saying that.
Okay, help me with that one, Bijan, because I go live often. So help me with that one, because that might have just taken care of one of my pieces of short form content every day.
Yeah. Let me find it. You go to Creator Tools and then Live Center,
Okay.
and then scroll down.
Do you have to do it on your phone or your laptop?
I do it from my phone. I haven't gotten
Okay.
familiar with TikTok on my laptop yet.
Okay. I find it to be clunky on my laptop. It's just really difficult to deal with.
So then, yeah, it's right there. It should pop up on the underneath.
Okay. All right.
And it says, oh, couldn't be processed due to a technical error though. But I can still use the 3 highlights.
Yeah. And the whole thing is just get on there and ask questions. Man, thank God for Sahil and the one person who actually checks out my lives, and Bijan from time to time. Other than that, I don't have shit on my lives. Nobody's showing up to those things.
For now.
But for now, yeah, for now. But I know Sahil is like Sahil's like my raving fan on my live, so I appreciate that so much.
Sahil is the man. I love
he
Sahil,
is.
You're a key element. I mean, really. And I want you guys to realize something. The most powerful force there is gravity. It built everything. Muscles, everything. And what is gravity? What is one thing gravity is very good at doing?
Bringing things down.
Consistent as a mofo. Consistency is the most powerful thing there is. It puts water through a rock. If you just consistently do any amount of anything, forget about Gary V and 15 posts on every platform a day, and yeah, that'd be great. But if you can't do one a day, I think we get in our own crazy about this. I'll tell you what, all of us right now, every day, could set up a lemonade stand on the busiest corner we could find that day, and we would all make money. I just want you to realize, what's up, Terry? Who's our little buddy there? Oh my God, my buddy had 4 of those little chichilla. Is it a chichilla? Is that how you say it? Chichilla?
She's a Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, that's what, okay. Yeah. Funniest damn dogs. Them and bulldogs have the most craziest ass personalities you'll ever. But I just want you guys like to realize that just consistently doing it. And listen, everything that you guys are saying and asking, I do the same. I did the same thing and sometimes still do. But I'm working on ways, even for myself. How can I just consistently show up with and be useful? I used to get so mad, man, I didn't get any sales today. Then I'm like, oh, well, it's because you suck, Mike. That's why. And I'm like, well, it's because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to do it. And and I'm like, dude, why do you say that shit to yourself? Like, nobody's making you say that to yourself. Like, you're saying this shit to yourself. Nobody's even making you say it. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And so I just started thinking, I'm like, why not just like try to be useful on the topic that you're talking about every day? And then tell people, listen, if you want to learn more about this stuff, I got a whole bunch more and I've got it organized. And then I'll help you myself personally each week, twice a week on a live. I'll record it so you don't have to worry about remembering everything right there. And then I'll be here tomorrow and the next day because this is what I like. And I just started like changing the way I talk to myself. I started changing the way I set up this task each day. I'm like, somehow I get my teeth brushed every day. Somehow I get clothes on every day. Somehow I drink water and find food every day. Certainly I can post a damn video every day that's at whatever length on one of these platforms, trying to be useful and helpful. And by God, I think to myself, I'm like, if I did this just every day, what could happen?
I like how you said the somehow I do XYZ thing. That really sticks in my brain. It's like somehow I did that so I could easily just post 3 videos.
Well, I don't know how to edit and make it special. Well, don't edit it or make it special. Just post the damn thing.
Hey man, what do you if you have somebody unsubscribe from your mail list, do you just forget those people or do you do any kind of follow-up? You just forget them completely?
I
Okay.
treat it like a magazine subscription. If, and I tell people on my lives or in my emails, I'm like, if you don't want to be a part of the email list, you can unsubscribe down below.
Right.
And I say, I even tell people you can opt in. I'm going to email you because that's how you do it. When it's kind of like when you cook a hamburger, you put it on a grill or something like that. It's like, I treat it like these things that, some people like, oh, they're like, well, if they unsubscribe, I'm like, I tell them, you can unsubscribe if you want. I will email you because that's what you do. When you swim, you do this. It's just
Right.
what you do when you get in a pool or you'll drown. Right. So I'm like, when you do online business, you email people when they opt in. That's what you do. That's how you follow up with them. So if you don't want it, you can unsubscribe. I get every email I send, I get unsubscribes. Like anywhere from 10, 2, 3, somewhere. I don't really get much more than 10 unsubscribes per email, but I get a lot of subscribes and unsubscribes. It's just a healthy balance of what's going on. People go swimming, they get out of the pool, they leave. It's like, just like in a restaurant, some people come, they'll never come back again. I just treat it like that because that's really kind of how it is, right? They checked it out. They're not into it. They don't want my emails. Okay. And then I don't worry about like following up with them because I'm like, they found me the first time and they know what's going on here. And if they want to come back, they will. Just like you, if you stumble onto something and you like it, you'll go get it or you'll figure that out. You'll
Right.
find something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just, again, I don't try to, it's really easy to take like for survival, we typically think of the negative, like, oh, that's what keeps us alive. Is there a tiger in the bush? It's
Right.
like, so naturally when we get unsubscribes, we think that's something bad. No. That's okay. Some days are windy, some days aren't. Some days rain, some days don't. And so I treat it like that. And then I try to just not take a negative approach on things. It's really hard to do. And I don't try to take a positive approach on it. I'm like, this is just the way it is. And so the important thing, though, is showing up consistently. And so let people come and go as they please. I show them where the exit's at. I show them where the entrance is at. We went to this aquarium yesterday. It was so funny. Or, I don't know, a few days ago, within a week. Doesn't even matter. I went to this aquarium the other day, and the lady's up there talking about these little birds. And she goes, for those of you that want to listen to me, I'll be right over here. For those of you that don't, you can go over there and leave. And I was like, yeah, that's really how it is. And she said it in such a heartfelt, like, if you love me, great. If you don't, great. You know, I'm going to be doing this here. If you want to check it out, And it was, and I love that, because that's how it is here. If you like the way I make apple pie, come on down. I'll help you. We'll do what we can. If you don't, that's okay. And then just really try to just pour into the people, help them. I don't worry about the unsubscribes. You know, it's like, it's okay.
By the way, worrying about the unsubscribes is how my last place that I worked ended up failing, because they were so scared to email the list more than once a week, and if that, and they never lost email subscribers, meaning they never were willing to gain their real fans. And that's why the bike shop that I was working at closed down.
It's really true. That's a great point. And Terry, I'll tell you, I find that if you give people the option to come or go, and you're just upfront with them about everything, life is fantastic all the way around, because you get to be as pure as you want, and the people either like you or they don't. The key thing is, again, consistency, but also, are you able to do what you said you were able to do? And that's what's key. And you get better at it as you go. It's like anything, you know, anything. The more you do anything, you're going to naturally figure out how to do it better, or do it in a way where it's more consistently getting the same result. It's just kind of how we are as humans. You know, I seen a thing maybe it was this morning. I seen something at one point in my life where the guy goes, you know, a baby, when trying to walk, will fall down 50 times and it never ever thinks to itself, well, this just isn't for me. And that's so true, right? It's like, I don't think like that with this either. I'm like, I am going to do what I like to do, and I'm going to try to get good at it. And I want to help other people do it, because what I'm doing helps people get something that they want, which is money. And time. It's not that I have more time than you. I just get to spend my time the way I choose to do it. Right? So, you know, I still have to do my post. I'm here right now doing this, right? Yeah, because things are automated, it does give me a lot more time, right? Than I don't have to go to a certain place or drive a certain place to get. So there is that, but being able to just do your time on your time, that's that's huge, right? I think that that's what's key. And just be really good at what you said you're going to be good at. And there's plenty of opportunity for everybody always. We all have like plenty. All right, Chuck. Peace out, brother. What do you guys feel like is the most complicated part of this type of deal?
I think it's pretty simple. I
Yeah.
just get more consistent and better. You know, I've been
What about the
posting.
consistency part? Like what part of that, and I get it, like I totally, especially in the beginning, I get it, but like I'm just curious because I want to try to help make that not so much of a barrier, the consistency thing. What do you feel like makes it hard to be consistent with what we have to do in this business model?
I think people in general have that problem. I don't think there's anything wrong with this business model. It's just a person that needs to convince themselves that I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it on a consistent basis, no matter what, every single day or every single hour or whatever it is. I think it's in the person themselves.
But
If you-
why does it seem like it is something that isn't easy to do consistently?
Because most people don't do that. Most people are not consistent. But what I've found over my years of doing different things, most salespeople, anybody that's got a little bit of a sales background is consistent. I used to be a regional manager for a large auto parts distributor. So I had a 10 southern states and all of South America. I had 16 guys that worked for me. And through the hiring process of hiring those guys, I wanted the greenest guy that there was, because that guy had no fear of rejection. And so I could teach him how to sell and you know, be consistent and do the right things. But I couldn't teach him how to handle rejection. And so by being so green, you know, they didn't know what rejection was. And then finally, once they figured out what rejection was, it never bothered them because they had another route to get in. So it's really just, I think it's the people. People are inconsistent. You know, it's kind of like looking on TikTok. If you don't have something that catches their eye in 2 to 3 seconds, they're off to the next race. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because their minds just aren't into it. But I just think it's a person thing. As far as the course goes, I like the flow. I like the consistency. I'm actually doing the same thing. I cut it down to 6 pillars versus 9,
Mm-hmm.
and dropped a module or 2 out.
Mm-hmm.
Just I made it more to myself.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like, that would be, you know, I didn't dumb it down. I didn't do all that. I basically followed your model through. And I've been driving myself insane trying to get, you know, 1,000 people on TikTok. Well, I just got over 500 today. I did my first duet, and I pulled some random dude off of the internet talking about how he's pissed off that companies are bringing in new employees and giving them bonuses and shitting on the people who are there. And I just looked a minute ago, and I think I did that one maybe noon or something. And there's like 1,800 views on it. And, you know, so it's like, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's me trying to find consistency, because I've tried everything from a video with my dog, excuse me, video with my dog to, you know, chickens, you name it. I've tried everything. And once I get hold of something, then I'll maintain that consistency. But like you said, I don't care if people like them or not. I mean, I thank Bijan a lot because he likes a lot of my stuff.
Your stuff always pops up when I open TikTok, which
Perfect.
would be a good thing.
Perfect. But yeah, I think people have to learn to be consistent. If they want something, you'll be consistent. If you know, if you're really not into it, well, you're gonna fall into that category with, you know, 95% of the others. So
I think you said something there. I mean, it's the reason I brush my teeth. I want my teeth, you know? So it's like, I think there's a big thing there. It's like, if you want something, you'll be consistent with it. And I think that's so true. And I think a lot of times, doing something even poorly or imperfect or whatever is better than doing nothing. So I always look at it like, you know, just create the video. And if it's not good, then, you know, at least you created it and you'll get better the next time. You know, just pay attention to that. And yeah.
That's like when I first started doing this, I think I'd messaged you because my voice wasn't in sync with the video. It pissed me off, right? Well, I'm kind of anal about that stuff. So what I just did, or what I'm doing right now, I think I've got the first 2 or 3 pillars redone. I went and redid all those videos because I can't stand that. You know what I mean? So again, there's a consistency thing where I want to make everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? But I want to be consistent throughout. You know?
It's like you have to have something to improve.
Correct.
You know, if you don't even have anything to judge and improve, it's like you can't improve.
Correct.
And so it is. And that's what I want people to realize is like, even doing this online business with recurring revenue, and I just think about like this with this business, and this might help you guys too when you're doing the messaging and stuff for this. If you're following kind of what I'm doing to make money, it's like we're just teaching somebody how to do something that they don't know how to do, and they're paying us for it. And so if we want to get people that will pay for that, we have to go somewhere where they are and say, hey, do you want to know how to do this stuff? Because I know how to do it. And if you pay me, I'll show you how.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the marketing stuff. And then when they get to wherever we're telling them to go to get started, I just think I'm like, well, I've got to show them a pretty good example of how this thing works so they can be like, oh, okay, I can do that. That seems like something I could do. And then when they get it, I'm like, well, I want to make sure that, I can get them the answers as fast as I can or as easy as I can or something like that. Because if I can, then it's likely they'll go tell somebody else about it. And that just helps me with my marketing part. And then it's like, yeah. And I just think about it like that over and over and over again. And I grew up with like older people as like my mom worked all the time. My dad was, I didn't have a dad around. So it was like I was with my grandpa and my grandma most of the time, and they're older. And it was always like, you hear them talking. Grandpa was a farmer, and grandma was, she owned a kitchen store that sold kitchen supplies, like plates and spatulas and shit like that. And it was always like, yeah, lady come in today. I'd hear my grandma talking all the time, lady come in today. And Susie, one of our customers, told her that we had these things, and she came down, and I'd hear that. And I'm like, well, it's because Susie thought your stuff was good enough to tell her about that. And then my grandpa, he's like, I'd be sharpening shears or, whatever. And because he was blacksmith too. And he's sharpened shears and stuff like that for people. And he goes, I just started sharpening the neighbor's shears, and the neighbor told somebody, and he goes, that's how that started. And I had, 12, 15 people each month, I'd sharpen their shears.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, pretty simple. We're just using these different tools now, and I want it to be that simple for people.
See, that's the hard part for me though, when it comes to this, is knowing what my version of sharpening shears is. Because to me, it's like everyone has access to YouTube. I know all this stuff just by watching free stuff and reading books. But I guess I got to realize most people don't take the time. Like when I'm on Instagram, I'm only sending myself ads and analyzing the ads and what does well and what doesn't do well and how the ad works. Like that's what I spend my time doing. And I always forget 90% of people aren't even 99% of people aren't doing that.
You have to remember a couple of things about this type of business, or any business, frankly. Number one, people aren't always paying you because you're the only person that knows this stuff. A lot of times what they're doing is they're paying you because they enjoy the way that you know this stuff and teach them. Number one, that's one way. Number two is they're paying you because you make it happen a little quicker than the other guy, or it just makes sense to you. I know people that make gobs of money per month, like in the millions. Some people can't stand to even listen to a 3-minute video of them because of the way they come across or their voice or whatever, right? So there are things like that people will pay you for. But just remember, when you say you don't know what your sharpening the shears is, well, you're either helping somebody make money, helping somebody with their health, or helping somebody with their relationships. These are the big three markets, right? So you're doing one of those three things. How are you helping somebody make money, right? That's your sharpening shears. My sharpening shears is I will show you how to set up a paid subscription community and get people into it. End of story. Now, when I do end up going to that mid-level product that maybe is $5,000-$6,000, something like that, there's just going to be more of me involved. Maybe when they sign up, they get everything that you get in Build Lab, but yeah, exactly, Terry. But like people would get everything that they get in Build Lab, but they also get, let's say, 5 private Zooms with me. Well, how do you justify that charging $5,000-$6,000? Well, I'm going to save them a lot of time. Number one, that's worth a lot. And they're going to have something set up that makes way more than that. And it's going to just be easier and more simple for them because I'll be involved very heavily. Then I'm going to charge, then there's going to be those people that are up and running and going. And then I'm going to say, hey, $36,000 a year, you got to be making at least 30 grand a month. Only 100 people can come, and we're going to do an in-person event. Okay. And then I have people coming in a room with me, and it's not even about me. It's just I'm the facilitator of all these really smart people that are all making 30,000+ a month, and we're all together. And you're going to get one idea from that thing that's going to make you maybe $100,000 that year, and you paid $36,000 for it. So that's how I look at it. And I'm just helping people make money use the internet. And my favorite thing is through this model right here. I like the info space. Some people do it with e-commerce online or, whatever. So just, even if it's something simple, what you do, but really if you like what I'm doing, like the way I do it, then, all right, brother, see you later. Then just do this and just call it your thing. You know that.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like I tell people all the time, I learned this stuff from Sam Ovens or Frank Kern or whatever. It's okay. If they want to go buy Frank's stuff, then they will. If they want to buy Grant Cardone's or Hermosi or whoever it is, that's fine.
Yeah. Actually, I used that line in my live stream. Sahil was commenting and I was like, yeah, me and Sahil are in this group. We're learning about this stuff too. And yeah, I don't know. Made sense.
It is. I think we
like scared to say it, like, oh,
yeah, it's
they're gonna
okay.
find out. But who
Yeah,
cares?
it's like, I mean, I learn from people all the time. We all have to learn this stuff from something. But one thing that I find, and I think you'll find it too as you're going through it, is if you're just doing it, you're going to learn way more, way faster than, you got to get the basics figured out, right? How do you attract people online? Well, you just put out content. And if you want to pay for your content to reach more people, you can run ads. All right. And then you have to convert them. Well, how do you do that? Well, you need to build an email list because not everybody buys right away. You're going to have to follow up with them. And instead of having to use ad money or constantly trying to put out content to talk to them again, just get them on an email list and you can just email them again. So you get more reps with a single person with less effort because they're on a list that you can just email. It's like they're already in your backyard. Just go back there and talk to them instead of having to always go out and find them again to try to talk to them. And then you got to get paid somehow. Well, Stripe or PayPal or Square or what are all these things, right? I just use Stripe because they're kind of designed for this type of business, the subscription model and stuff. And they're a decent rate. They're about all the same anyway. And they got a phone app and stuff like that, right? And then, I got to put my stuff somewhere that when they pay for it, only they can get it. So I use Skool before I used, ClickFunnels. And then, that's it. And then just show up, and help people and be learning. You're naturally kind of like a student of the industry once you get into it, right? I'll see something. I'm like, oh, that's good. I learned from Alex. I learned from all of them.
Russell
and
Brunson, he's still a student as well. Like he's buying old marketing books every day to learn.
I mean, that
Hey,
would be a problem if they weren't. You know, I wouldn't go to somebody that wasn't still learn. I mean, I plan on
Hmm.
studying all this stuff forever. You know, I mean, this is my grandpa was a farmer. I'm this guy. You know, it's like that's and the sooner you accept, some people are always trying to change all the time. Just if you want to be a farmer, be a farmer. You know, and be really good at being that. If whatever it is that you really like to do. You know, if I didn't like this stuff, I would, you know, it's like just decide to be that person. It's almost like kind of like I think people are scared to like it's like a commitment thing or something, right? Like
well, I think
there's
for me, it's like I'm scared to like the reaction that I get is like, oh, I can't get someone a result. I don't know what result I would get them. But on this call, Chuck was asking how to do the TikTok thing, and I was like, I showed him, and that I like doing that. I like learning the new tech and helping people get there and find the solution. I like that stuff.
and for you know a good example of what you just did, you know, with Chuck is like what you so how do you it's like how do you relate that back to the big three markets, right? Well, by showing Chuck how to do take the live and how it, you know, highlights and what is Chuck going to now do with that information? He's going to use it to make money. It's like when my grandpa sharpened shears for other farmers, they used their shears to make money. You know, they used it to farm. So you're going to relate whatever it is you do back to one of those big three markets. Some people teach people how to sell a house. Some people teach people how to make sweaters and sell them. You know, they're in the money market part.
Wow. I never related that to until
Yeah.
you said they use the shears to go make more money by shearing their sheep. I never made that connection till right now.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's yeah, and it I know these are the little things, but see where you learn this is and I'm not saying it's here like stay here, you know, you stay as long as you need to, but that's what this is about. Like for you, it doesn't matter how simple it is. The simplest things are typically the hardest thing to figure out because it's so I don't know. I don't even know why. It just, you know, but if you were to try to make that connection on your own somewhere else, maybe it would have taken another year or, you know, maybe it would have taken whatever, or it wouldn't have happened at all. But when you get people together like this and we start trying to like get to a point or somewhere, that's where this happens. This like you get a couple people together, there's like this third mind that shows up. And now all of a sudden, now you've got that connection made. And so when everything that you look at, you can instantly go to it and be like, well, like this company, you know, they're in the health niche, I guess, I suppose. Right? They're you know, they're making money by improving health or something, or improve, you know, helping somebody with their health.
Yeah.
But they're also, you know, they're also making money, so they're learning how to make money. What the hell you do over here, City? So, is he making a foil paper plane? Like, so
Are you
the,
getting something out?
but you know, it's like you think about that, like how they're like kind of in the health niche.
Yeah,
They're
because
making money.
you need to drink that and eat to
Yeah, you got to
go.
have liquid,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, but that's how they make money is you would consider this in the health niche, not the make money niche. They're not teaching people how to make money, these people here.
Yeah.
They're providing
Yeah.
something in the health niche.
Yeah. Like the Brandon Carter guy, King Keto, he started teaching people health in the health space, and then he started teaching people how to make money by selling health. But it's
Yes.
really only health and then money. Like that was
Yeah.
his journey.
And then there's relationships. You know, they're
Yeah.
teaching you how to talk to the opposite sex, or they're teaching you how to, you know, be romantic, or how to not argue and things like that to improve a relationship.
Yeah. And also selling like stories and stuff like that. Like rom-coms are probably in the relationship.
That'd be relationship, you know? And there's you know, like martial arts, that would be considered like the health niche. They're teaching you how to protect your body. They're teaching you how to be flexible and focus and things like that.
So really getting clear is the hardest part for me, at least. Getting clarity. So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
have
I
to
would
get
say
confused.
that you're in the, you know, make money.
Yeah.
So find different ways to make money.
Yeah. But see, I grew up around a lot of hustlers, like people on the street selling cars. But they couldn't make money consistently, but they had a phone book of people that they would say, hey, I got this car for you. And like that's how they would make money. So like to me, I'm like, oh, if I'm not doing that out on the street every day, then I can't call myself a business, like a knowledgeable person about business. But
You're just doing it in different ways.
yeah.
At
Check
the end of
this
the
out,
day,
gentlemen.
it's always getting somebody from point A to point B, whether that's in health, whether that's in relationships, or whether that's in money. How
And
do you
selling
get
cars,
them?
by the way, is money because you're helping someone get somewhere quicker.
Oh, nice, Sahil. Yeah, no, it is. It is.
Yeah.
You're helping them have transportation. Or if you're in high end stuff, you're helping them have more significance.
Like the $75,000 a night hotel room is someone buys that to get more attention.
That's right. They buy that for attention. They buy that for confidence boost. They buy that to, you know, some people buy that to show their status so that they can try to get other people convinced that they can get them to that status.
Yeah, like they could close a $10 million deal because they bought that hotel room for 2 or 3 nights.
There, you know, and those are all just different kind of lanes and separations that there are out there. You have to find the one where you can be consistent in it, and where even when you're having a crappy day, you still can find yourself to put together like a video or something like that, right? And when you bring a restriction on, it brings resource out of you. Like if I'm like, well, listen, you can only post your video between 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock, you would be your resourcefulness would kick in, and you'd figure out how to get that done. You know, if anything, if think about this, and I think about this quite often. What if the only way to make money was the way we're talking about here in Build Lab? Think about that. Think how much quicker you'd probably get there if there was no other route. You think about that. Imagine this was the only way to make money, was creating a paid subscription community and getting people from social media and doing that. Imagine how it would be like. I mean, we learn an entire language from birth, because it's like that's you're going to learn this language whether you like it or not. And so if you treat things like that, you know, you come up with these, you just set yourself up for like, you like trick yourself. But again, it shouldn't really hurt, or it shouldn't be painful, or it shouldn't be like, oh, I got to do this funnel thing, and then like I got to email people, and like I got to do videos. Yeah, there's times I'm like, man, I wish somebody would just edit this for me and post it. I'll make it. They can edit and post it. But then I'm like, yeah, but Mike, you don't have to go clock in anywhere. Instead, you have to edit your video. Mike, you don't have to have somebody, telling you this, that, and the other thing. You just got to post your video. Everything just goes out the window then. I'm like, man, this is way better than any of that crap. And I think at some point, you know what something else is I think anybody can be, all right, see you, brother. Thanks for joining. I think anybody can be an entrepreneur, really, because all of our ancestors were entrepreneurs. It wasn't like they clocked in at McDonald's. You think about that. Everybody figured out how to create the energy and resources they need well on before even the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah. Even to this day, though, I would say that's true. It's like you find real good entrepreneurs in the places you wouldn't really expect. Like there's this girl, she's like 17, making $10,000 a month making scrunchies on TikTok, just selling them on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. But she's consistent. She's
Yeah.
passionate about it, obviously.
Yeah, she
And
has
if
like
you
all her
just-
drawers organized and stuff, and she does her videos like that, consistency with the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just get a rhythm going and have fun, you should have fun. Like, I think if you just have fun with it and try and master it, not because somebody says, oh, well, that's the way, or this is how you should do it, or this is whatever, you should want to master it. I'm getting ready. I want to do a new VSL. It might completely crash and burn. But I love the fact that it could do that. And I love these things. I love this part about it. I love the challenge of getting my videos posted and things like that, But I'll tell you what really helps is with this model that we're in is just have a static program, use the 9-pillar framework or 6 pillars like Terry did or whatever. Each pillar or week or what, you got modules inside of these things we call sets or pillars or weeks or whatever. It's just like follow that framework, create some video, give them what they need to get it done, and then do these weekly calls. You'll love them. And then give them a community and interact with them in the community in a way that's useful to them. Master your thing, and then just start sharing with people. Hey guys, I put up a lemonade stand. Here's how we make our lemonades. Here's how we grow our lemons. Here's the glass that we use. Here's how we make our ice. That's all this really is.
Yeah. And that's like, Notion, ChatGPT, how to use YouTube the right way. Like I'll make the pillars just that. Yeah. And then Sahil is like, he's doing the content manager thing, which is really cool. I know nothing about it, but I do know someone who needs that. Like the guy that I'm helping in California with the hardwood flooring business, he desperately needs a team to do that for him, but he just doesn't know about it.
That's right. Mm-hmm. It is. It's now Sahil's vacuuming out his car. No, I really think that number one, I think you're making leaps and bounds of progress in your awareness and the understanding of this. I think it's just creating a schedule you can stick to. And just try to do better the next day than you did the day before, or the next call than the previous one.
I'm going to California next week my sisters live out there, so we're spending a week there.
Sweet.
And it's gonna be really fun. Yeah, I usually go out there a bunch of times, but this is my first time in a while. So
getting
Mike.
ready to hit it.
nice.
Mike, you know who Ryan Bader is, the UFC fighter?
I mean, BATAR
I think so.
or
Either
OR.
a T
Yeah,
or
I
a
think.
D.
I mean, it sounds familiar.
This is the gym he used to train at for like I think like 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
There's this room in here. It's like a private dungeon area,
Uh-huh.
and it's got all the things you would need to really just fight, roll, and all that stuff.
That's
That's
awesome.
what we're doing technically. Like the gym has the thing.
Private
it has the
access
equipment.
community.
Yeah.
This is the build lab right here in here.
It is, yeah, man. I mean, you guys are gonna crush it. Like the moment that, like, right now, it's like nothing that I'm doing right now is special, right? But this just feels just like my life, and it'll get that way too. Like those fighters, they're not, to them, they're not fighters. It's just the way of life. You know, all these guys you see, Hermosi, all them guys, it's just a lifestyle. You decide that you're going to be this. You're going to be a bodybuilder. You know, that's not like something you do on the side. Like, there's nothing on the side about what I'm doing right now. This is what I do. And I eat and I enjoy the fruits of life. And this consumes most of my mind. And it doesn't hurt. So, and it's just so infancy right now. You know, like I don't ever look or think about my age. I'm just alive for a certain amount of time. And I don't worry about how long that is or how short it is. I'm just like every day I wake up and I want to do this stuff. And I also like other things too. You know, like I like all the fruits of nature and life and all that stuff. And it's like this thing that I love to do fuels that. It's a really cool thing. And I try to get smarter about this stuff all the time. I'm always learning about this and testing and trying. And you'll get there like that with your own thing. And this framework or model that we have, until I find a better one, this one works pretty good. You can charge whatever you want for this. I've charged $5,800 for this one time, you know, or $9,800 one time. But this thing as a front loading, like a front end. You know, it's like you can go to the dentist, get your teeth cleaned, or you can go get you know, cavities removed or crowns or a tooth pulled or whatever. Or you can spend 40 grand and get your whole mouth redid with some really nice teeth. You know, they can put in a whole, you could have the best jazziest teeth you ever wanted in your life. You know what I mean? It's like there's levels. So this is a front end. What if this takes me 5 years to build this thing up to 1,000 or 2,000 people? I mean, I have plenty left over each month the way it is. If it never even grew. I just want to do more because why not? Why not help more people do this? Because it's so awesome when I get emails like I got from this Danny Smith. He just sent me an email and I'll share it. He goes, He just shared that he just sent this email to me. I blocked it out because I'm going to use it for marketing. But he's like, hey, Mike, I realize I haven't heard from you in a long time, but I wanted a quick testimonial that your Build Lab program has done for our business. We have been so busy getting our product out. Someday when sales slow down, we'll be joining classes to get a tune-up. Thanks, and we're saving a ton on advertising, Danny Smith. He sells some kind of mower thing that you can put on your mower to mows around trees or whatever. He's a physical product guy. He's an older gentleman, but they're wasting all this money on ads. And I said, why don't you just post videos and do some lives and just do that? And I gave him that little content thing, and he joined Build Lab. And I don't even know why he sent this to me. He sent it June 8th at 12 at noon. And just out of the blue sent me that. You know, that's cool. Like, this guy's got all these sales are going out now and stuff. He's paying for Build Lab. He's making more being a part of it than not. You know, that's pretty cool. So that stuff charges you up, man. When I got that email, it's nothing crazy. It's not like he's like, oh my God. Wasn't even a video or nothing. But that stuff's like, man, what if I do that 1,000 more times before I die? You know? That stuff is just cool to me. And you'll do the same stuff. So, well, did we have anything else?
No, it's past my bedtime.
I know it's 6 o'clock here. So
Yeah, usually I go to bed at around 9, which is good. Consistency with bedtime has been
and
huge.
wake
It's helped
time
me
is
in-
good.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
helped
it's
me with
huge.
a lot of things.
Yep, it's very, very huge.
I've been following that guy Blueprint, the guy that created Venmo and sold it to PayPal. Brian Johnson. He's been blowing up. He created this like superhuman blueprint thing, and it's really interesting, his YouTube stuff. And it's funny because a lot of people have like, I don't know. I made a TikTok video about it. Like, he gets a lot of hate and like really, really negative comments, but he's like, because it's a whole thing. I could talk about it forever.
Yeah. No, I mean there's so much of that kind of stuff. You know, like so many it's the little things too. You know, just the little things. Absolutely. Well, Sahil says about PayPal versus Stripe. Here we go. PayPal will hold your money. Stripe doesn't do that crap. Okay. PayPal will hold your money for 20 days. I
forever.
or longer. I've had 20, 30 grand stuck in PayPal and I can't get it for a month. And I'm like, the other thing is with PayPal, people can just get their money and it just takes it. Like for instance, somebody could refund for no apparent reason and they'll take it. Stripe will fight for you a little bit. And they give you the opportunity to really get it turned around. That's one thing. That's not such a big thing though. The biggest thing with PayPal is they hold your money. That's the thing I don't like about PayPal the most.
And the user interface isn't as good as Stripe
Yeah,
is.
the interface isn't as good either.
Like, sometimes I get on a PayPal and I'm like, who are these people that the money transacted with? And I'm like, did someone hack my account or something?
Yeah, and then you got to go through, even if you have it like integrated into your payment page, they have all these like there's like all these different snags that can happen. Like when somebody pays, they can do this like quick payout thing, checkout thing, and then it causes like error and stuff. It's like it just it's not as smooth as Stripe. It's not as easy to use. And Stripe initially was really designed for like info product subscription programs, believe it or not. That was the people that are involved there. That was like the industry that they wanted to go into and pay to. So, or play to. And it's just a better platform in my opinion. Maybe something along better, but Stripe is good. If you're doing info, subscriptions, high ticket and stuff like that, just use Stripe. You can use both. You can put both on there, but I just make it Stripe. I've never had a problem with it. Like it's not like I'm losing money because I'm not also doing PayPal or because I don't do PayPal or something like that.
Do you need an EIN to do Stripe, or can you use your social security number?
You can use social.
That's the only thing that stopped me when I tried to set it up the first time. It was like, I just didn't know that you could use your social security number as your EIN or whatever. Like
You don't put it in the same spot,
Yeah, yeah.
but you can get an LLC on LegalZoom for a couple, like less than, I think it's like $150 or something like that.
And then 21 days. Takes
Yeah.
21 days to arrive. Actually,
You can
they
speed
speed
it up
up
if
the
you want
EIN
for like
process.
$300 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I've
I'll
done
tell you
that
the
twice.
best way to go about it. You gonna roll out?
Oh no, I said I've done that 2 times. I've created 2 different LLCs. So I know the process a little bit.
Yeah, the best way to go about it is if I were to like, assuming like you can afford to do it, which it's not that expensive, but the best way to like handle all the tax stuff is either make everything so simple that you can do it very simply. But even then, it's like, yeah, I could mow my yard in a half hour. But it's like, I just pay somebody to mow it. And it's like $40 a week. So just pay somebody to handle your tax crap. Keep an eye on it. I mean, you should have record of everything that you're doing. You just make sure somebody's not screwing you. But it's really hard for them to screw you now because they have to have verification. They just, you're not giving anybody power of attorney or anything. It's like you get a CPA and they watch your books and tell you what you owe. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
There's so many good places out there for nothing. Some places are just free. They'll just take a little percentage off of what you pay in or what you don't pay or whatever,
Yeah. Interesting.
Anything else? No. All right, homies. We're gonna call it a day.
Oregon.
All right. All right, you guys. I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you
right.
in some videos before then, but all right. You guys take it easy.